ASN would be good on just picking the Lyra. They immediately ban out the Idris so that the Baron doesn't get caught out. But this could mean that the second pick for ASN is free to go for Chingy's again aggressive early game play style.
Then again, just with regards to how ASN has been playing so far, picking out that Baron is really a terrible idea because ASN really want to push that advantage in the early game. Do not want to quite let it wait into the late game, and that is what they excel in, that early game aggression. And if you're going to pick out that Baron, then you are kind of giving it to them, right? You are just playing into the win conditions. You are just putting, win and victory on a silver platter for them. So I guess, I hope Silverboom has got an answer with this Baron, at least pick out an early game hero, like say that of Koshka or even the Castro, just to deny that early game. Even then, a Samuel would be a good pickup as well for this time, just to counter and weigh out that early and late game hero comp that they can have. If not, they are going to go for that Finn.
Ooh, I think this is the Finn that the first time we've seen Finn for what, 2 weeks now? I think last week he wasn't picked at all.
Yeah, Finn is just not as meta at this point in time. There are, granted, the next most meta, say, Roma or captain would be that of Lance. But then again, with a lot of cooldowns, changes made to Lance, there hasn't been a lot of Lance being played as well. So I guess Finn would be the good choice. But honestly, the Rome Batiste or even the Rome Glaive would have came out on top over that of Finn, because Finn, one of your biggest weakness as a Finn is that you cannot catch up at all. If your ally is being caught up, you cannot catch up, you cannot save them. You have your polite company, you can grant them that fortified health, but at the end of the day, you are just so very slow. And yeah, and also you are dealing with an Ozo, which is very mobile, and on top of that, you've got a Lyra, you've got a Vox as well. So I'm glad the side of ASN Esports will pick up that Ozo just so to go into that Baron, and I think it's a very good pickup. Ozo does very well against the Castro as well. So this is down to how, yet again, Silverboom will play and execute the team comp, especially when going up against ASN Esports, the team that knows how to escalate from 0 to 100 really, really quickly.
Yeah, true that. They're the 0 to 100 team. So, from the looks of it, Silverboom are going to be playing with the mindset of Finn's going to be in the front line. He's going to be looking to set us up a Force Accord. He's probably going to have an Echo to, get for that second Force Accord just in case if someone, the Lyra has a Crucible. And then he's just going to be, I guess, basically fish bait so that Kestrel and Baron would have free reign to deal damage from the sides. That seems to be the case here, but do you think there's any other playstyle that they can do?
For the side of Silverboom?
Yes, Silverboom with the Finn.
Well, I think, I must agree with you. There is really no other way to play Finn. Unless, of course, if you build Crystal Power on him, then his Quibble will hurt very much. But even then, I don't think we'll be seeing that. We'll be seeing a CP Castro at the end of the day and a Weapon Baron. So, yeah, like you said, Finn will just be in the front line, trying to soak up as much as damage that he can possibly soak up. But we must first understand one thing as well, that, the side of ASN Esports, they are going for the high sustained team comp with that Vox, who will be going for the poison shift, tension bow, breaking point, will be able to stay in a fight for a very long time to build up those breaking point stacks. And Finn is the prime target at the end of the day, because you'll be in the front line, you'll be bouncing, my basic attacks, my auto attacks to Baron, to Castro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and on top of that, Ozo, with his Carney luck, works just so very well with that Lyra. He gets an extra healing, he gets extra fortified health, he gets extra health barrier as well. And on top of that, he is so mobile, and when he's jumping and acro bouncing to get into the back lines, he has just got so much burst in that early game as well. So it is quite confusing for me as to why Silverboom would go for that Baron pickup, and with that Finn, and of course to complete the lineup they have got Castro. But then again, like I said earlier on, Silverboom would have a chance to win one game, and one game only is when Lei Kang would play. And in this game, we do see Lei Kang playing on that Baron.
Ooh, so maybe they're just going in for let's play not on reason, but more on what we're comfortable with. So Lei Kang is going to be playing on a Baron, which I think would be one of his comfort heroes.
Well, a lot of times when we do see Lei Kang come out to play, he's usually on that weapon Adagio. In very rare occasions would we see that Baron, because more often than not, Baron is usually not let through at all, whether in the single phase, the first phase of Vent or the second phase of Vent. So it's rarely seen, but I guess I hope Lei Kang has got something up his sleeves. So bad, very bad. All three members of the side of Silverboom all up in lane at this point in time, trying to force Aeon back. But Aeon do have an armor just to stand up against that of Lei Kang. So, and one more thing as well, it is quite weird for me that, you know, ASN would just complete the team comp with that Ozo and not opt for that Taka, because Taka is very strong going into that of Baron. But I do understand why, because you can get spotted out by Polite Company when Finn does use it. So I guess it's a good pick. I guess letting your enemies know where you are, you know, isn't quite bad at the end of the day if you can just kill off and assassinate that Baron, which will be your key target.
But now they're going to be initiating onto Aeon. Damage, they actually pick him off straight off the bat, and Silverboom, looky here, gets that first blood. Hezeboy will be rotating to the lane just to provide at least some support for this turret. And as it looks like Silverboom, they're wanting blood. They're looking for some early game sieging, as Hezeboy will be absorbing the damage or damage shots from So Bad, Very Bad.
Well, yeah, but you know, as a Crystal Castro, your basic attack do not do much damage, as we can tell.
Actually, yeah.
The turret is relatively healthy. Chingy maybe in a bad spot.
And Chingy, oh my goodness, he actually overcommits and gets blown up by Silverboom. So this could be a good start for Silverboom. Already 2-0, 3 minutes into the game.
2-0, and on top of that, sitting on a 1k gold lead. Oh, yet another kill going over to the side of Team Silverboom. And you may be right, Silverboom coming into this game with that Lei Kang swap out may be their key or the recipe to win games. We do see So Bad, Very Bad on that Crystal Castro coming in very, very aggressive. Lei Kang might be in for a time when Chingy rotates up to lane, but that will not be happening so far.
Oh, from the backline, you actually saw So Bad, Very Bad was active camo stealthed, but here comes ASN diving in aggressive onto Lei Kang. Nice connection from the CCs of Pain Sandy. He'll be stomping it to the ground and actually vacuuming everyone to him so that Lei Kang can survive. And the protection is real from Pain Sandy, although Lei Kang, look at here. Oh, Hezeboy, this could be bad though. So Bad, Very Bad is right here. It's dealing out the glimmer shots, and they can't get it. But still, Silverboom, well, you did say ASN are 0 to 100. Silverboom are trying to do that themselves. Looky here.
I mean, they have got the artillery in that of the early game in terms of the Crystal Castro. So I guess they have kind of the right, to just go boom, boom on, So honestly, coming into this game, ASN looks rather weak in that of the early game.
Yeah.
but it is just down to when Aeon that was such a bad fight. So many layers of meaning in it. But it is just down to, after Aeon picks up that poison shift and when he can sustain in lane going up against Lei Kang on that Baron. And on top of that as well, we really need to see that Aftershock on Chingy. And, proccing Aftershock would give also so much sustain on top of the sustain that he already has. Firstly, on top of that as well, is the extra damage that Chingy's desperately need at this point in time. We did see the third Acro Bounce landed on Lei King, but didn't do quite as much damage as I expected. So at the end of the day, it's really just down to how ASN can control in that late game, and on top of that, push it into a win for for themselves at least. Because for the late game, when everyone has come online, it is just down to Sobat very bad on his placement, and of course down to Tezaboy and his vision control of the game.
Yeah, Tezaboy. Oh, pause on the match. So right now they just gotta be careful. But again, I'm just curious about this one. Come late game, it's gonna be Silver Boom, right, to actually out damage ASN. I mean, they do have that Crystal Power Kestrel and the Baron, so it's gonna be very painful for ASN to deal with those two heroes in the late game.
Definitely, that Baron, that Kestrel, CP Kestrel especially, does so well in the late game. But there is one way to hard counter that of CP Kestrel, and that would be using very good vision, or very strategically play scout traps and even use flash. So that is one thing that we must take note of. Whether or not Tezaboy can achieve that, Tezaboy is taken down to 3/4 health just by 1, 2, 3 glimmer shots. It's really just down to how ASN Esports can play into the late game, to be honest, because whether or not Aeon can stay in a fight for a very long time, and whether or not Bright Bulwark can be used to its full effectiveness.
Wow, that damage! ASN are so freaking low, right? Although Lei King might have been overcommitting to seeing ASN so low that he jumped into his death, and he pays the price with his life. And that's gonna be the first kill for ASN.
Yep, first kill for ASN indeed. And like I said, Chingy really needs that Aftershock to do very reliable damage, and Aftershock he got, and Aftershock he did to kill Lei King, or remove Lei King temporarily in that fight.
So right now, Silver Boom will be starting a fight onto Tezaboy. He's actually pretty fast, so they won't be able to capitalize. Chingy has already backed off into his own jungle, and Silver Boom, they're really focusing right now into the lane. They're trying to siege as much as they can, I guess, with Lei King's Baron right here, or maybe force ASN into a predictable fight. But ASN will not falter for the meantime. They get the 1 kill onto Pain Sandy, but we see Silver Boom go in with the revenge, make that 1-1. Here it goes. Fight breaks out once again, and there you have it. And for ASN, interestingly enough, Lei King and Sobat very bad weren't able to survive that one. It looks like they had enough HP to do so.
Yep, and there is one thing as well. There is a proc coming out from the side of Aeon 222 as well, and thus they won with that tension bow, and of course the sustain as well, and thus they won that damage, won that team fight, managed to take down one turret in exchange for the turret that was taken on the other side. Goal difference now is close to nothing, with both of the teams just being very, very even at this point in time. For the next item that Chingy will be getting, that would be that Broken Myth, just to increase the damage output coming out from this Ozo. But there is one thing that you must know as well. Ozo in the late game will be used very much as a supplement, as a distraction, just going into the middle of the fight, not doing much. Another fight will be happening as I'm talking.
Like I said, using that passage to actually initiate. And Chingy, early on, you said that he was supposed to be a supplement. He is doing that right now, as Aeon is doing all the work and taking down Pain Sandy. But as I say that, Chingy with the solo kill onto Sobat very bad. Even with Lei King into the sidelines, there's gonna be usage of the Vox ultimate, and Chingy just jumping in. It's just a circus. It's a circus monkey going in a little bit wild as he tries to make everything happen right now for ASN. That second turret should go down, and well, ASN to ramp up a 2k gold lead from that fight.
Yep, I'm not sure if I ever told you, but that is what that Ozo says. One of his lines in game. Yep. So there you go.
You told me, yeah, like I think a month ago.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is one of his lines in game, and that was what that made me play him at the start. When he first came out, I was so obsessed with him. because of the line itself. And I always like have it on blast, and I'm on Discord with like my friends or something, or maybe like line call, and I'll just have it on blast whenever he does that, and it'll just yeah, you get the whole point. But we do see though Aeon 222 on this Fox managing to just out-sustain the damage coming out from Lei King, and it's understandable. Although Lei King has got that Sorrow Blade, has got a Tension Bow, has got the burst in terms of that Lucky Strike going into the Tyrant's Monaco, and yet Aeon can just hold himself so well with Tesla Boy 98 on that Lyra. And I really like the engage as well coming out from Tesla Boy. He is slowly building into that contraption at this point in time, which is what we all like to see, just for that extra vision control, just for that extra vision advantage that they can have over the side of Silverboom, because that is what I said. In order to counter a Castro, especially a CP1 that can stay in this for the longest of time, you really need that damage. You really need that vision control. They do take that gold mine, pushing the gold lead a little further to say 2K 2.5? Oh no, just 2K.
So it looked like Silverboom didn't want to contest that gold mine for now, because they're a little bit afraid of how that last clash followed through. Chingy will be starting off, gets the snare onto Lei King. Lei King still has his jump jets to be able to get away from the fight. Essentially will be defeated. This could be a blown out team fight right now. Passage into the backline. Lei King is in a very bad spot, gets blown up. Aeon is still healthy and living right here, and that, I think, itemization will be able to take down Pain Sandy quick and easy. Active camo by So Bad Very Bad will be his silver lining in that fight as he escapes, but his teammates do not.
And one more thing about playing Crystal Castral as well is that you have to set up before the team fight happens. Lure your enemies into the mist, try to get a triple stun, if not then double stun at least, because honestly that is really just part of your kit. You have to work like an assassin. You are not a Crystal Castro. You cannot just stand there and shoot and then active camo away when the need calls for it. You really just need to set up for your team, and that is the majority of your damage. But in that team fight alone, we did see no setup was done whatsoever, and the side of ASN Esports, they just used that Crystal Miner, Crystal Sentry to bait out Baron. Baron was going in for and he was baited out. He was taken down very low before Arcane Passage was used. Once they have gotten the sentry down, they went in immediately, took out, refilled that of Castro, took out Baron, and then immediately turned on Pain Sunday on that.
Okay, so a fight will start. I'll hold you off for that one. Look at Pain Sandy absorb so much punishment from ASN, and here comes another one. Offensive bulwark just to catch up. So bad, very bad. It will not happen. Just the slow will connect. Usage again from the ultimate of the Vox, and they follow through under turret. ASN are still fighting. They get the one, they get the second. Oh baby, it's a double. And they go for the triple. Lei King is trying to dip back into the fight, maybe provide some support for this turret, as ASN are 3-man strong. This is not looking good at all for Silverboom. Could be a 2-0, as ASN is doing short work of that third turret. Lei King using the ultimate, but nobody followed him through the iron. One shot, one kill, but still ASN, mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished indeed. And like I said, the team bomb coming up from the side of Silverboom, it will work, but it would not work if you are an independent entity. You really have to work in a team. You have to lure them into your scout, your traps, your active camo, activate them, and then you have Baron jump in. Because one thing that's for sure, Finn, he's very immobile, like I said earlier on, and a lot of fights have to happen around him. Yet, Chingy wants to dive into the back lines. Also, at least want to dive into the back lines for your carries and ignoring your existence all in all. And on top of that, they've got a Lyra, they've got the Bright Bow, they can go into your back lines yet again. And if you're too front forward, trying to soak up as much damage as you can possibly, as a Finn, then you will be neglecting your teammates although you're in front. Makes sense. It sounds weird, but I mean, it should make sense, because as a Finn, you really do not want to soak up damage all the way in front you really want to be with your teammates. So when you have the polite company, or rather some people call it, I will politely invite you to the death of my team. When you have that on, and when you're going to use it, you really need to have your team around you, else you cannot have any form of protection given to your team.
Yeah, that's a very long name for a skill, but I'll take it. I'll take it as well. Politely invite you to your death. But is it actually, Pain Sandy hasn't, I think, connected a good force to forward. It's either it's been reflex block or he really can't get anything for the meantime. Look at that. My goodness, Chingy was going a little bit Beyblade into the members of Silver Boom, going in aggressive, going to the mid lane, mid fight, back line as well. They're chasing him down, and Chingy, look at this. The hops from this monkey is going a little bit wild as ASN go for a second kill. Lei King to survive, but Lei King's not going to be happy with that one. He has been losing teammates left and right, as well as objective fights.
Yep, ASN Esports, they looked really shaky in that early game, but once Chingy got, you know, online with that aftershock and is able to put up so much damage, there was no chance in hell that, you know, the side of Silver Boom could respond or even react, as we see. Oh, one shot, one kill, barely missing that Kraken steal. And Pain Sunday, we do see Pain Sunday picking up the Now Wave Gauntlet. So what we can see and what we might see will be a Now Wave Gauntlet onto that of Tezzaboy 98, and then using Force Accord afterwards. That way, if the side of ASN Esports, they've got excellent communications, then definitely when Tezzaboy does that and does get Now Wave, really Chingy just wants to be in you, like in your team, just in your face. Whereas
Tezzaboy got hooked in, but that's a Lyra. She got the ultimate. She got the exit out. And here we go. Fight breaks out. Lei King puts down the Porcupine artillery, uses the ion cannon onto the Kraken, and the Kraken is now smashing onto the turrets. And they have to deal with two things. Silver Boom has to defend against 3 members of ASN and the Kraken battering down. They do have the safety of their HQ to heal back up, but ASN are playing this so well, using Tezzaboy as that mini heal tower, I guess, for the meantime, as the Kraken breaks down 2 turrets. ASN will be aced. That's a triple for Silver Boom, but they got opened up, and I don't think they have enough time to actually wrap back and go straight into the heart of ASN's base.
Yeah, but we can imagine what would happen next coming up for the side of ASN Esports. Would they want to fight another fight? No, I don't think so. What would probably happen would be a backdoor with Lyra. Let's make a bet, Asteroid.
I don't want to bet because I feel like it's gonna be the same thing. That's gonna happen here. Or rather, fine, I'll take it. ASL will go for a fight rather than backdoor. All right, let's go.
Okay, so you do that, yeah. So if you lose, yeah, you buy me dinner, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you liked me that. Sure. No, just kidding. But sure. If ever I go to Singapore.
Okay. So, you were right.
Oh yeah, the fight breaks out, and here we go. ASN are going in. Pain Sandy cannot go to his teammates, but maybe that's a good thing because look at Lei King go. The kite damage pushing back onto ASN. Polite company to push them back in, and Aeon was caught off guard. They got bursted down, and this could be a legit turnaround for Silver Boom. 30 seconds onto Aeon before he comes back into the fight.
30 seconds indeed, but Tezzaboy moving in a very haphazard manner.
Oh, 2v1. This is Chingy Unleashed. Is he really gonna go for it? Go for broke. Uses the 3 ring. Oh! He's doing it, Chingy. Can he go for the triple? Oh, baby, be a triple. He does get it, and Chingy goes wild. My goodness, the ace. And there's gonna be the GG push. Oh my goodness. Chingy. What the hell?
Oh, wow. The plays indeed. he got the first. I wasn't expecting the second. He got the second. I wasn't expecting a third. And then he manages to pull out a triple kill. Rather 2v3. Impressive players coming on and from Chingy. Really, really impressive for the late game. And just to close that game out, I owe you dinner, Asarai. And good game, well played, especially to ASN Esports, and of course, to pull out the player that, you know, I wanted to say that Aeon just carried the team through with just, not even carry, but rather pick up the pieces here and there, while Chingy just be in the front line, being a distraction. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Chingy was a real damage dealer. Chingy was just in front, getting those doubles, getting those triples, and good game, well played. That last fight was just insane, and of course the heals coming out from Chingy as well. I am so hyped for this game, and this is the third match of the day, both and a round of 3 as well. Both games going over to the side of ASN Esports, so there is no game of 3, and Silver Boom, unluckily, unfortunately, still at 0 points. Anyways, we will be going in for a very, very short break. And when we come back, we will be seeing Infamous going up against